A reading from the Gospel of John. But Mary stood weeping outside the tomb. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb, and she saw two angels in white sitting where the body of Jesus had been lying, one at the head and the other at the feet. They said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping?" She said to them, "They have taken away my Lord, and I do not know where they have laid him." When she had said this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not know that it was Jesus. Jesus said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping? Whom are you looking for?" Supposing him to be the gardener, she said to him, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned and said to him in Hebrew, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Jesus said to her, "Do not hold on to me, because I have not yet ascended to the Father. But go to my brothers and say to them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went and announced to the disciples, "I have seen the Lord." And she told them that he had said these things to her. As Mary stood at the tomb, she wept. We can only imagine what Mary had gone through over the past few days as she'd had the courage to stay with Jesus until his death. Now she faced the tomb, believing that someone had taken our Lord's body away. But on seeing the angels and Jesus, who she hadn't yet recognized, they both asked Mary the same question. "Woman, why are you weeping?" Did they not know what had happened? Here Mary's distress was compounded by Jesus' missing body. "Woman, why are you weeping?" This can seem like an unusual question when they all knew what had happened. But it's actually a profoundly important question for Mary and for us when we grieve. In our culture, we often avoid difficult questions and do everything we can to stop expressions of sorrow. In moments of personal grief, I have had a desire to wail out as I see people in other cultures do. But we don't, because we don't do that. Instead, we hold it deep within us. Mary was not alone in her confusion, and she was being encouraged by the angels and by Jesus to speak it out. And through that encounter, she was just about to understand the greatest truth in heaven and on earth. Mary and the disciples would have heard Jesus talk about his death on a number of occasions, but still, when it came, as he said it would, Mary was left in deep sorrow and confusion. This is often how it is for us. Grief takes time to understand, and the accompaniment of another and a community that encourages us as we grapple with the confusion and to listen when the questions come is why the ministry of consolation is offered in our communities and is available to everyone. We accompany each other, and we are not alone in our sorrow as we ask, "Why are you weeping?" We often hear the tomb being described as the empty tomb, but the tomb wasn't empty. Earlier, when the disciple Peter had bent down to look, he saw the linen wrappings lying there, and the cloth that had been on Jesus' head, not lying with the other wrappings, but rolled up in a place by itself. George Herbert, an English poet and Anglican priest, talks of this in his poem, The Dawning. He writes, Jesus left his grave clothes that we might, when grief draws tears, not want a handkerchief. So let us rise, and when our tears come, let us reach not for tissues, but for the linen cloth from the tomb, and allow it to wrap us in the hope and love of the resurrection, remembering the words Jesus spoke to Mary on that first morning. I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and to your God.